Well, right, it is very hard to say how much money the Iranians have already gotten for brokering this deal with the United States and the United Nations, if you think about it. We do know that some billions, in the single-digit billions, have gotten back to them, but they have better than $150 billion in assets that were frozen, and this goes back to the Iranian hostage situation. But all of that money could be coming their way, but get this, the Iranians want it like pronto. I mean, by the end of the year, which makes you wonder, what do they need it so fast? Why? And what do they plan to do with it? Retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer has some ideas. Colonel, what do you fear?
Well, I think the North Koreans are having a 2-for-1 nuclear weapons sale, so I think they have to get in before the first of the year to get their order in.
Well, they have a lot there, and it's one thing to say we want some of our frozen assets, but they want the whole $150 billion. Right. By the way, some of them are arguing it's a lot more than that. I don't even know what the case is, but they want it now. They don't want to wait. What's the rush?
Well, look, we see some of the evidence of it. As I mentioned, North Koreans are ramping up their nuclear program, talking about new tests. And, they're going to be sharing all that data with the Iranians. It's just a matter of the fact that we know that they've been sharing data and working together. And more frightening to us, we need to recognize that this is going to put a lot of gas back into their global both acquisition network. They have a clandestine network which basically does everything it can to break sanctions. So all those sanctions that President Obama and John Kerry keep saying they're not going to break, it's going to give them the ability to create these clandestine networks to go around things. Hezbollah, Hamas is going to get new rockets. All the rockets that the Israelis have been testing, and God bless the Iron Dome system. It seems to work very well. Well, they're going to have some more tests coming this spring and summer next year because this gives the Iranians more money to start manufacturing all that again. And one of the most frightening things we all have to consider is the fact that it's very clear that, in my judgment, they've got the atomic bomb. Now they're going to start doing that next reach for a hydrogen bomb, which obviously would make everything an order of magnitude more severe regarding the detonation. And that's what happened during the Cold War. We had nukes, the Russians got nukes, we got a hydrogen bomb.
Everybody wanted nukes, and they just upped it.
That's right.
But I thought the understanding was, leaving aside the stories from Iran, that we wanted to put this into our peaceful energy exploits, that they would try to show the world that they're not this evil villain the United States paints them to be. But we do know their financing activities and all these disparate deeds. And I'm wondering, the fact that they want it all right now tells me they got big plans. I mean, normally when heirs to a fortune are talking about getting all the money in their hot little hands immediately, they're up to no good.
Right. Well, and we have to recognize that they're in Yemen. Look, they're going to be moving things into Iraq. I've been on another network, Neil, where one of the members, one of the folks talking on the panel was actually a Sunni member of the parliament of Iraq, who basically says, you Americans are giving up Iraq to the Iranians. And so we're going to see the Iranians move in even greater force. Plus, you can count on them doing things like developing additional additional missile technology. I'm glad you're showing that. The missiles that they're working with Pakistan, with China, with other countries, they're trying to develop better ballistic missiles.
Colonel, we know that violated already the UN deal, and we also know that on its surface violates, or at least abuses some of the fine print in the Iranian agreement we have. So here's what I'm wondering then. If they are being so blatant about this, I thought there would be a carrot and stick approach to this agreement and unfreezing these assets. You do a little bit there, we give you a little bit of money. You do more, we give you more money. Is it really as simple as they're saying, just free it up and give us all our money now? I thought it was going to be done in stages.
Neil, I've talked to members who have read the entire deal, like Louis Gohmert and some others who have actually studied this in great deal over on the Hill. And everything they're telling me, and we've talked about this too, there is really no snapback capability. Congress will do everything it can to maintain the sanctions it controls. But everything else, to include all this money, Neil, the executive branch can basically say, Katie barred the door, there you go, have fun with it. And I don't care how many times John Kerry says, well, we have great faith that they won't do stuff. I'm sure they will. And so I think this is where the policy is a complete departure from the reality we face. And I think we're going to see catastrophic bad things happen when they get this money moving into the winter and spring next year.
All right. Thank you, Colonel, very, very much.
Sorry to say that.
No, you've been very pressing on this stuff. I appreciate it.